Hey everybody, it's Marshall Mc here, and this is my Did Wonder Woman Save the DCEU video. A lot of YouTubers have made this video. I've decided to join this topic and give you my answer as to whether or not the film saved the DC Extended Universe. So what's my answer to the question? Well, my answer is no. I don't think that Wonder Woman saved the DCEU. However, I do think that Wonder Woman put the DCEU in the right direction. There's many different factors as to why I think that the film didn't completely save the DCEU. Though the movie is a success critically and financially, it hasn't done as well financially as its DCEU predecessors. Wonder Woman had a Thursday night opening of 11 million and went on to do 103 million opening weekend. Batman v Superman had a Thursday night showing of 27.7 million and went to do 166 million opening weekend. And Suicide Squad had a Thursday night opening of 20.5 million and later had an opening weekend of $133 million. What? Even though Wonder Woman didn't match up those numbers, she did manage to have an opening weekend a little under Man of Steel and beat out Iron Man and Guardians of the Galaxy completely. So that gives you an idea of where Wonder Woman is in terms of the DCEU and where she kind of stands, right? And she's done well with some of her male opponents, right? Deadpool's the only one that's really been able to, surpass her recently in terms of box office, but I do think that Wonder Woman has been a success in terms of media, in terms of critics, in terms of fans. Everyone just loves this movie. And I feel like the tone matches where it needs to be with the character. The character stands out a lot, but it's not her movie, and I feel like it's just balanced completely well. That's what everyone's saying, is that the movie is a lot more balanced than the other DCEU movies. And I agree. I do think that this movie has a lot of balance to it, and I think it's pretty much the perfect DC film right now. I think it's been my favorite DC movie since The Dark Knight, to be honest with you, and that movie was glorious. I mean, Wonder Woman doesn't match up to that level, right? But she's there. She's like so close to getting there. And she's done really well in terms of, again, the box office as a whole. She surpassed 500 million worldwide, so good for her. And I feel like, again, Patty Jenkins has something to really, I think, brag about. Not brag, because it's not nice to brag, but it's nice for her to show off that, she's broken the barriers between, male and female people at the box office, right? She's really taken it to the next level in terms of working with everyone. And again, this film is for everyone, so I feel like it just works. But I do think that the DCEU is not saved quite yet. So what was I saying? What was I talking about while I was saying that the DCEU isn't rescued? Well, what I'm talking about is that the movie Wonder Woman, even though it was good, it just didn't have a bigger factor into the DC world overall. It was really just Wonder Woman's story told correctly. So I don't think the movie really contributes to the whole DC cinematic universe, the DCEU, right? Also, I just think that this movie, one, has a different creative team to it. It has Alan Heinberg and Jeff Johns writing, Patty Jenkins directing, and then Gal Gadot and Chris Pine starring, right? And then Danny Houston's in the movie as well, and some other actors as well. But with this movie universe, really the big contributors to this universe right now are really Zack Snyder, Chris Terrio, Joss Whedon, and I feel like they're the ones that really need to step it up. Right? I mean, everyone doesn't like Zack Snyder's work. In fact, lots of people hate his work, which is really disappointing. I mean, David Ayer also had some stuff to contribute with this as well, with Suicide Squad. But that was also Zack Snyder heavily producing that movie as well. But I just feel David Ayer can't make Suicide Squad. I'm so nervous for Gotham City Sirens. I don't know if that movie's going to stand up on its own, right? But Margot Robbie is heavily involved with that in producing, so we'll see how that turns out. But with Wonder Woman, it's just it's a totally different team. Even though Zack Snyder produced, mostly it goes to a whole different team. So we'll see what Terrio can do. Also, if you don't know, Terrio is heavily involved in rewriting the Batman script after Ben Affleck handed the torch over to him. So it's just so much contributing to Snyder and Terrio's work that they're the ones that really need to determine whether or not the DCEU is saved. If Justice League is a success as much as Wonder Woman is, then I think the DCEU has been saved. If not, it just proves that there needs to be a new creative team behind the scenes with these bigger movies, with Justice League, with Batman, with all these other movies. they need to get some new people in there, right? What if Alan Heinberg and Jeff Johns were the only one writing the DCEU films? That's a bit of a long shot, but still, it is possible, right? I mean, I guess it's somewhat possible. But there's been a lot of drama behind the scenes with Jeff Johns, Joss Whedon. A lot of drama behind the scenes with Joss Whedon making new creative decisions on Justice League while Zack Snyder's away. And that's just terrible. I'm totally against this. This story broke a while back ago that Joss Whedon technically fired Junkie XL, right, and hired Danny Elfman to finish the score for Justice League. Well, the multiple scores, right? Also, they're reshooting Justice League quite a bit right now in Gotham, as we've seen from behind the scenes. Well, not behind the scenes, they're leaked images, but still, behind the scenes, right? And that's really a problem. I think that Joss Whedon, one, it's disrespectful to Zack Snyder as a director, a fellow director and writer, right? And it's also disrespectful because his daughter had a tragic passing, and that's why he left, and that's why Joss Whedon's in charge. And I feel like Joss Whedon doesn't understand that he was hired to complete Justice League, not to reimagine it as a whole. So that's just an issue as well. And I do respect that Joss Whedon is a very creative man. He's a very creative director, a filmmaker, and he wants to be creative, and he wants to let his creativity flow. That's why he left Marvel. He couldn't do that there. That's why he's here, because DC, you can tell that DC gives a little bit more creative control to its directors. So I can see that Joss Whedon is meaning well, but it's just not working. But as, we loop back around, did Wonder Woman save the DCEU? I don't think so. I think it steered it into the right direction, but I don't think it saved it. But what do you guys think? Comment down below, did Wonder Woman save the DCEU or not? And I'd love to see what you guys come up with down below. Don't forget to scream this video out to the world by sharing it down below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and there will be more DCEU coverage and DC TV-verse coverage coming up next, so don't forget to stay tuned for that. Bye-bye.